guys, I'm ChezPride and welcome back to another Sims 4 related video. And today I want to go over yesterday's free pre-Sims 4 Adventures Await expansion pack base game update. Now these pre-expansion pack free updates are normally pretty big and come with some bigger stuff added to the base game. So I have went ahead and pulled up the patch notes here, have my game updated, and I'm ready to jump in and review everything in these patch notes. Just make sure if you haven't updated your game yet for some reason, that you're going ahead and backing up your tray and your save folders and taking out and updating your mods before you put them back in. Just because these are the patches that tend to break the game the most, more so if they are modded games. Now, pre-pack patches tend to give us normally new features or new big stuff to the base game that goes along with the next expansion pack. And from what I can see, there's a few new type of things that, like I said, are new, but it isn't anything major like the infants that came with growing together. It's more like a lot of bug fixes, and what few things we got that were new added to the game were mainly new ways to filter, organize, and for the game to run smoother, or very much going to be things that will work better paired with things outside of the base game. So this probably isn't our biggest pre-pack update, but I do appreciate the amount of bug fixes that they put in because they did put in quite a few. Also, I was totally planning on getting this up sooner, but yesterday when I was at work, which was the day this patch came out, I actually got a call that my stepdad was going to the hospital, and I won't go into much detail about his situation, but I will just say that he's been in the hospital for about a day now, and none of the news that we have gotten to this point has been good news when I am recording this. And with all of my dad type related childhood trauma, which again, not going into, I just ended up kind of having an autistic shutdown and pretty much sleeping pretty much until an hour ago and when I'm recording this, except for when I went to the car shop this morning. So that's my bad. But like I said, there's a lot to go over in this patch update, even if it's not huge new features. But it is all free and it all comes with the base game. So we are going to cover it all. So let's go ahead and jump into this patch, starting with the patch notes themselves. Now the article that we are going to be reading, that is the patch notes, is actually on the EA website under the Sims 4 news category. And it came out again September 18th, 2025, which was yesterday. And it says that the title is Plum Bob and Go, Get the Sims Away. Now, I will go ahead and address something right away, and that is that it did come out for PC and Mac update yesterday on the 18th, but is not coming out for console until the 23rd. And I understand why they did it. I just don't agree with them doing it. Like, I really wish they would have made more of an effort to put it on console at the same time. I don't understand why they couldn't, but they do kind of give us an explanation. I feel like it justifies their reason for bringing the patch earlier than we expected, but it doesn't justify the reason of not taking it to console, because originally, this patch was supposed to come out on the 23rd, which makes sense because that's even a little early for an actual patch, because the patch comes out, or the pack comes out on October 2nd, which normally in the past we would get the patch on the 30th. So the 23rd would really be an early release date, but now they're bringing it the 18th, which is even earlier. So they're just knocking it back more and more. And basically, they just want time to fix whatever breaks that this patch update comes with. But I would have totally took it the 23rd or them at least waiting somewhere in the middle between the 18th and the 23rd to put it out for both console and PC at the same time. But let me go ahead and read to you their explanation. So it says, who's ready to get away and make an adventure out of it? Today's update prepares for October 2nd's launch of the upcoming expansion pack Adventure Awaits. And while you're waiting for this base game update, contains a fun new feature that will have your Sims kids cheering throughout the neighborhood. Also, coming to the game today, you will see a number of bug fixes. We are releasing today's update on PC and Mac with the console update following up December 23rd. Getting this update out earlier allows plenty of time for mods and custom content creators to update prior to the launch of Adventure Awaits. This also gives us time to address any issues quickly, as PC and Mac will be on a newer game version until the PlayStation and Xbox update on September 23rd. Console players will need to use the PlayStation and Xbox filters in the gallery until you receive the update. So I'm so sorry for y'all that play on console. Like, my best friend plays on console, and I just feel so bad for her. Like, I just wish that they would just make PC, Mac, and console an even priority. Like I said, I would much rather them wait a little bit later so they would have been able to add it to console too. I do understand their reasoning of wanting to be able to allow mods and custom content creators to update their mods and giving them plenty of time to fix issues, because these patch updates always cause more issues, which I will be showing you guys one that I have already found here in a minute. But like I said, I don't think it excuses the console players not getting it. And then it just says that you can report your stuff to the EA forums, which in my last update video I showed you guys the EA forums. So plumb up out, Soul, and we'll see you on your next adventure soon, the Sims team. So as they just stated, and I stated earlier, most of this patch is actually bug fixes. So as you can see, these are all the bug fixes here. It is not just base game. There's some for almost every pack. Like, oh my goodness, look how many bug fixes. But there is also all this new stuff. And like I said, none of it is huge new stuff. There is one thing I would consider huge, but it goes better with other packs than just the base game, in my opinion. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this kind of out of order. So the first thing I want to go over is actually a memory boost thing. And I'm not going to show this off in the game options because they actually posted a whole little video kind of basically explaining it. But this is the new game option feature that they're adding, and pretty much it's supposed to help future save files. So once you turn on the memory boost type of little option, which you have automatic, disabled, or enabled, then your future saves that you make after you turn it on will have a memory boost. And let me just kind of read to you so you kind of understand what I mean. So memory boost is an early access opt-in feature for The Sims 4 on PC, Windows specifically, that delivers performance improvements by optimizing memory uses, reducing lag, and improving frame rates, helping prevent memory-related crashes. We invite you to try it out and share your feedback, as well as prepare for a wilder rollout. So how to enable memory boost? So you pretty much go to your games option and it's under the other tabs, and like I said, it's literally right here. So other tabs, memory boost, and you have those three options. So you can disable it if you want, but it says, note, recovery saves created while memory boost is enabled will tag accordingly as the least one original recovery saves without memory boost and will always be preserved for fallback. You can disable memory boost at any time in the same menu. So it looks like if you create a little file with the memory boost, it may not work as well without the memory boost, but it's supposed to just up the game performance in general. And it's saying that you will always have at least one original one of the original recovery saves, which I think is a bonus because you don't know how many times like I have wanted to go back further than it lets you, because you can go back like the last 5 saves, but you can't go back further than that, and it's really a pain in the butt. So I actually don't mind this. I think this is probably a feature I will be using. They did, however, put a little video out on it that I'm just going to play for you guys. So it shows you exactly how to use the memory boost feature. So if you're questioning it, so optimize your memory, reduce lag, improve frame rates, and minimize memory related crashes. So it's supposed to help the crashes as well. So you can go here to these 3 dots and then go to game options, like I said, and go to other, and it is literally right here. Now, it's automatically going to be on automatic, but if you put it on disabled, it'll have you restart your game, and then your new save files, like the ones you make after it, will have the little memory boost thing, so you can see which files have that memory boost. So that is kind of the breakdown of that. That is like one of the like in-game features that is the newest, but we actually have new stuff as well. So pretty much I'm going to read you about the first thing I'm going to show off, but then everything else that is in this little section right here I can actually show off in game. So I'll probably go ahead and do that as well. The one thing I will say that I'm not going to be testing out in this video or really going over that is in the quote new stuff for the game is that we adjusted gains for Soul's Journey and added satisfaction point rewards for each tier completed in the update for Life and Death when it comes to the Soul's Journey. So we're not going to test out the Soul's Journey, a new update, but it has been updated. It's supposed to give you added satisfaction points for rewards for each tier, and I think they made it to where it's a little bit more challenging to complete your Soul's Journey, but we'll get to that in a minute. But the first thing I want to show off in the game is the new playground venue. And like I said, I really think this is going to be better when we have the actual game update. Now, I will go ahead and say I do appreciate them not putting this behind a paywall, but looking into it in game, I do feel like it's going to be one of those things that is better without just being base game. Like, I feel like if you have more than just the base game, even if it's not Adventure Awaits, you'll probably be able to make this a little bit better of a feature. But let's just read the description. So it says, let the kids play. And what a better place than to play on a new playground venue. Going to the park is fine and all, but sometimes kids need their own space. The playground venue, on the other hand, is the perfect place to let the little ones run wild. You'll find it visited primarily by other children and their chaperones, especially after school hours, making it the perfect place for new friends. Built in the perfect playground, we love to see it. Share your custom venues with the hashtag playground, and Simmers can get it. So I don't know why they're telling you to do the hashtag if it's a playground venue. Like, it should be a new lot type that you should filter under, but whatever. Now, I find it funny that the art that they are using for this is actually the playground from the Adventure Awaits kit, because this kind of makes my point, is that this is going to be very much more achievable when the pack comes out, or if you have other packs. And honestly, just let me jump into game and show you why. So even though that the playgrounds are a base game feature, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be adding any playgrounds into any new worlds until we get the Adventure Awaits world. So with that being said, parks are supposed to be pretty much just like playground, but have more playground equipment required. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer our base game Willow Creek Park into a playground. So I can kind of show you how this works. So if you go to lot type here, you can come down here And we should have a new playground. It's right under the park. And like I said, it actually has less requirements. I thought it was going to have all the requirements except to add more. It actually looks like it took away requirements. For a park, you need a toilet, a sink, a bench, a chess table, a patio table, outside patio chairs, and playground equipment. But you only need one piece of playground equipment. And then for the park, the playground, you need a toilet, sink, bench, patio table. So you don't need the chess table, which I find very interesting because that's such like a Sims park thing. Like just any kind of park requires a chess table, but they took it away apparently. But they do require you to have 6 pieces of playground equipment. And honestly, like I said, with the or more than just the base game in general, you probably can pull that off easier. Even if you have like seasons, you have the whole swing sets. If you have the toddler stuff pack, then you have the toddler playground equipment that counts. And when we get the adventure awaits, we're getting the modular playground equipment, which will be very easy to put 6 playground equipments down because each single piece qualifies as a playground equipment. But with this being a base game feature, the only playground equipments in the base game are the monkey bars and the 3 jungle gyms. So with the 3 jungle gyms, you just have this one that was with the base game, this one that's with the base game, this one that is new to the base game, and then these jungle, monkey bars. So unless you're wanting to put, multiple monkey bars and playground playground sets, or gyms as they're calling them, 6 is a lot, especially if you have it on a smaller lot. Like, what if you didn't want to put it on this 50 by 50 lot and you wanted to put it on a 30 by 40 lot, or even say a 20 by 30 lot? There is not enough room or enough logical sense for there to just be 6 playground equipments when it's just the gyms and the monkey bars. Like I said, with other packs, I feel like it's reasonable, but if you're going to make it a base game feature, I feel like it should be realistic base game wise. And I think playground equipment 6 is just too much, you guys. It's too much, but we're going to do it, and I'm going to show you why I think it's too much. So maybe we can put another ship over here, as well as another little monkey bar, so that gives us 5. And then maybe we'll put a monkey bar over here by the pond. I mean, just give us some options, kind of spread it out a little bit. But that makes it to where we have the things required. And like I said, it should, now that it's a playground, pop up with more children. And it also pops up with more children throughout the day. So later in the day, we'll probably get more. Now, I don't have my mods right now, so I can't just super jump time and make it be after school hours, but I am curious to how many kids are going to show up on their own and how much it's going to increase once the day goes on. So real quick, just while kids are showing up, I think I'm going to let's actually just disable the group, so we can go ahead and actions, disband group, and we're just going to have the 2 kids be in a group. Now, I'm not going to do a proper introduction to this family because I actually made this family for another video, so I will introduce them then. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and have them come play pirate together on the playground, just so I can see how many kids spawn in by the time they finish playing on the playground. The other part of the family can do whatever they want, but I just want to see them play on the playground and see how many other kids spawn in. Alright, so we have 1 other kid already at the playground, which these are all going to be kids that come with packs. So we have Olive, Tinker, let's see, we already have Elastis, that's 3, we have another one here, Elsa, that's 3, sorry, I saw Elsa over here already. So far, just in the first hour, we've already had 3 kids spawn in and come play on the playground equipment, which I think is pretty impressive, honestly, because most of the time, we actually don't have this many kids right away. Look, here's another one. Okay, yeah, these kids are definitely spawning in a lot faster. I will say that. I will give them that. The kids are definitely spawning in more. Yeah, you can like affection, that's fine. Oh my god, there's toddlers. There's toddlers walking up to the park. Oh, wait, that's actually exciting. You don't see toddlers just out and about very often. I mean, probably if you have just the base game, you're not going to unless you add toddlers into your game. You know, the fact that toddlers are just walking on the park on their own and you don't have to invite them is a major update. I feel like they should have mentioned that in the patch notes, quite honestly. But now that I'm seeing a ton of kids are spawning in, like we have over 10 kids here. This is honestly kind of really cool. They're mainly all playing on the one playground area, which I find interesting. I kind of did that on purpose. I was kind of testing to see if you spread it out, if they would go to the most congested area. And looks like they actually did. So that's quite interesting. But there is another feature when it comes to kids that came with this free patch update. And that is playing pretend, which is kind of new because obviously, as we just saw, we can play like pretend on the ship and whatnot, and then if you have the toddler playground, you can play pretend on it as toddlers. But kids now have an interaction to where they can play pretend, so you can either click on yourself and play pretend, and you can do a fairy tale castle, a house, Island Castaway, Pirate Adventure, or Splice Explorer. But if you click on another kid, you can also do it with them somehow. How do you do it? Okay, it's under front, and it has all the same options. So I think I'm going to have them play pirates together. I'm going to go through each one of these interactions, but there is a total of 5. So I'll probably have them play this one together, and then they'll have each of them will play 2 side by side just to see the differences. So first we're going to play pirate together, which is going to be so adorable with the pirate ship here. Hold on, let's get a picture of them with the pirate ship in the background. Isn't that such a fun picture? Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let's get this picture right here. Perfect. Alright, so they're playing pirate. It comes up with a little boat, or it looks like I can't tell if it's an island or a boat, but it has a little pirate flag on it. They have the little pirate hats, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's like the toddler play pretend. Yeah, if you are an adult, you can't see what they're doing. You can only see it as children. I'm assuming the toddlers could probably see it as well, but I think that's really fun that they include that. And it's actually getting up the creative skill decently fast. Like, these Sims pretty much started with no creative skill. So, I will take the fact that this is actually getting it up quite quickly. Like, we are already at 70% to level 2. Alright, so they had no creativity skill starting out. And that got it up 64% for him and 64% for her. So that works out really well. But now I'm going to have them play side by side and show off all the different ones. So for him, he can play Island Castaway, and she can go ahead and play pretend on her own and play house. So let's see what these two look like. Oh, I should have had them go away further from each other, shouldn't I? Oh, wait, hold on. If you switch between the kids, it shows off the 2 different ones. Okay. So even if there's 2 kids playing make-believe, unless you are... Well, hold on, I say that. Okay, yeah, it does switch. So unless you're on the actual kid that you... Well, no, because I can still see the tree. Okay, I think I have to separate them out because they're overlapping. So if you're going to have 2 kids play at the same time, you might not want to make them not overlap, because as you can see, they actually can see what the other kid is seeing. At first I was like, oh, you can switch back and forth and they'll be playing their own thing. But no, as I was playing, they just kind of merged together. So let's have them walk away from each other enough to where we can see this spread out. So let's have him go here and try this again. Alright, so we're going to have him go ahead and play pretend, and he is going to play Island Castaway, and she is going to play pretend and play House. There we go. That's better. That's better. Alright, so as you can see here, they each have their own little thing. They're doing their own interaction. She's on the phone. He's searching the sea. She's making a mess on the ground, is cleaning it. He has a little island tree there. I love the crooked island tree. And the dancing crab. Oh my god, that was so cute. That was actually really cute. Alright. And now let's have them do the other one. So we will have him play pretend and play Spice Explorer. And she can play pretend and play Fairy Tale Castle. Because I'm very excited for these two. Oh my god, the Fairy Tale Castle is so cute. Wait, can you switch? Okay, there we go. Also, each one of these has their own music, which I find interesting. But this is what the Space Explorer and the Fairy Tale Castle looks like. I love the little mushroom hut, considering we just got the fairy pack. I think that was so cute. And he's doing the little moonwalk with a helmet on. Oh my god, it's so adorable. This is actually really adorable. Okay. Well, we have a couple hours to kill because I just want to see if it says that more kids are supposed to show up when it's after school hours. Now, it is a weekend, so I don't know if it applies on the weekend. And kids typically get out of school after 2 or 3. I think it's 3. So I think I'm going to have them go ahead and just play around on the playground together and just fast forward till it's 3 o'clock and see if even more kids start showing up. Because it says that more kids are supposed to start showing up. Oh, this toddler's just making a mess because there's no playground equipment for him. That's a little awkward. I really wish they put playground equipment in the base game for the toddlers. Like, every playground equipment we have is for toddlers is in a kit, a stuff pack, or an expansion pack, which honestly kind of sucks. Like, I really wish, like, I appreciate them putting in new toddler slides and packs and whatnot. I just wish they would put one in the base game. And unfortunately they don't. And this kid's in a crow costume. That's actually kind of adorable. Alright, but let's have them come play pirate together. Come on, we can do this. Can you stop talking to Candy and come play pirate with your sister? That would be great. Thank you. Alright. But it is 3 o'clock, so I'm kind of curious if more kids are going to start showing up. Let's see, we have this little toddler here. Okay, so it does look like some are going and some are leaving. So it looks like 3 o'clock is a trade time for kids. But let's see, how many kids? Right now we have no other kids. So we have to kind of wait for more kids to spawn in. Because it says after school, more will come. So we have one coming already. So let's see if I fast forward this. Stop talking to Candy and play pirates. Okay, let's see how many more kids show up. Because we got at least 10 kids in the morning. So I'm curious, now that school is out, how many kids we're going to be getting. We're getting a lot more toddlers. That is for sure an improvement, is we're getting a lot more toddlers. It looks like we have 1, 2, outside of our kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, there's one in the bath. Oh no, that's our mom. Never mind. There's not one in the bathroom. So there's like 8 over there, none over there, none over there. I still think it's hilarious that they are automatically playing in the congested area. I was not expecting that altogether. And I swear, if you start a fire at the park, I will not be happy with you, ma'am. You have no cooking skill. You are a teenager. But anyways, I don't think that maybe it's just because it's on the weekend that we're getting kind of the same amount of kids in the morning and the afternoon. But I'm sure once it hits a school day, that will probably change. But while we're already on the topic of public venues, let me actually just go ahead and show you the new filtering system they have for choosing a public venue for an event. So if we go over to Mom here, because Mom looks like she is the only one not busy right now, we can actually go ahead and go to our phones. Now, of course, you can do a social event from the calendar, but I'm just going to make it simple and go on my phone. And if we plan a social event, there is a new way to filter by what kind of venue you want. So I'm going to go ahead and choose for us to plan a social event. I'm probably not going to throw the social event, but I'm at least going to show you. So if we go to friendly hangouts, you can do all the normal stuff. So you can make a friend hang out with her husband and invite her kid. And then you could choose activities, like we're at the parks, so maybe we are going to eat food and be funny and play board games, and we can exercise, I don't know, fish. But when you go to select a place, we have a whole new system. Well, I wouldn't say completely new, but this is new. So basically, we now have it to where you can choose what kind of lots you want to show. You can still filter by worlds, but I will say they have improved this than how it was, because used to I automatic filter, all of these were open, so you'd have to scroll through and close them one by one to be able to choose which world you want to get to. Now only the first world is open, but you can also choose what kind of lots you want to see. So say you only want it to see the playground type. Well, where's the playground filter? Oh, I'm not seeing a playground filter. Well, that's awkward. They put in this whole new filter system, and I can't even choose for a playground. All the other types are there. Even, hold on, is graveyard there? Okay, maybe not every kind of lot. Maybe it depends on what kind of, one, what kind of expansion packs you have, but two, also what kind of event you're planning, because they're not showing all the different types. They're showing a lot of them, but they're not showing all. And of course, I have all the packs that include lot types except for Journey to Batu. I should be getting all of them, but maybe, like I said, it depends on what kind of event you're throwing, because it's not showing absolutely all of them. Let's say I wanted to find this lot in particular. I couldn't because it's a playground. But let's say we wanted to find a park. And it shows all the worlds that have a park in them currently. It does not show Oasis Springs right now, or it does not show Willow Creek right now, because we chose for this to be a playground. But we do have the one in Oasis Springs, so we can choose here that there's a park here. Also, I'm pretty sure they updated the text. It's way easier to read. I'm pretty sure they updated the font on the text. But that's kind of the new filtering system. And honestly, I think this is a lot better. Especially, you can also, if you're not exactly sure what kind of venue you want it, you could choose, what if we wanted to choose between a park and a recreational center? Well, bam, boom, bam, here you go, ma'am. If we open San Sequoia, we have a recreational center. If we open Windenburg, we have a park. What if we, on another note, if we want to do something else, we could choose, what if we want to go shopping, but we couldn't choose if we wanted to go to a retail store or a thrift bubble and tea store? As you can see, we have both options here between the two different worlds. So it's very convenient. It threw me off that not every single lot type was on there. And I don't know if that was intentional or not. But that is the new filter. And then, before we exit out of this portion of the game and go into Creative Sim, I did want to show off one other thing that I can access from this mode, and that is actually build mode, because there's one new item in build mode, and this actually isn't base game. It has to do with island living. So if you've been watching the last year of updates, they've pretty much been slowly adding to mermaids, because mermaids suck. Mermaids truly suck. They're the worst occult. I can't even find where is the Island Living filter? It's after Get Famous. Okay. They've pretty much been slowly adding to mermaids because, mermaids are the one occult, especially now that ghosts are updated, that, don't really have anything that unique other than just being able to swim in water and talk to dolphins. They can talk to dolphins and have tails. But other than that, that's pretty much all that's unique about them. So they've been trying to slowly add stuff. So they added a mermaid urn and a mermaid little gravestone. Well, now they're doing the opposite and they're adding a mermaid bassinet. So if we go here and we go to kids, we have the Ocean Lullaby bassinet. So this is what it looks like. I actually think it's really cute. I love the little clamshell. I think that makes so much sense. I love the pattern on the inside. My favorite thing, though, is this drape on the back. I think this is so gorgeous. I do think this is a very Pacific little bassinet, though. It's very obviously meant for mermaids. I'm assuming if you have a mermaid baby, it will be like all the other bassinets to where it will automatically spawn into this bassinet because it's quote-unquote the mermaid bassinet. I will say it is definitely a very Pacific style. It's like, I want to say, for example, if we go to Realm of Magic, which I know people hate on it, but the bassinet here, it is magical and whimsical, but it also could very easily, and I have very easily used it for other types of builds, especially in the all white. This, I feel like, has to be at a beach house or a Mermaid Pacific house or an under the sea type of house or a beach venue. I do not think it's going to be very easily used, but I do think it's really pretty. I think it's, I like the color. Especially in the all white swatch, I think that's really nice. But that is pretty much everything in game, except when it comes to Create a Sim. So let me go ahead and jump into Create a Sim real quick and show you the new, not item, but swatch of an item we got, but also how broken Create a Sim is right now. So let's jump into Create a Sim real quick. So if we go to Callie's Cold Weather here, as you can see, she is wearing the base game beanie. Now, this was the first beanie we ever got in the game. If it wasn't in the launch of the game, I'm pretty sure we got it in the first few years of the game. And over the years, they have added swatches to this hat. When we first got it, it only had maybe 5 colors on it. And as you can see, over the years, they've added several colors, but they have recently added one new swatch. That's all we got with this pack in Create a Sim was one new swatch to the base game beanie. And it is nice. It's this creamy, almost tan color, which I could definitely see coming in use. It's definitely less stark white than the white cool tone we have. And, obviously not gray. So I do think it is a color that we needed, and it's a nice touch. It's just such a random addition. It's just just one swatch, just one. I feel like if they had done maybe 3 swatches, that would have been more reasonable. But no, just one. But I'm gonna put it back in the blue swatch. But like I said earlier, when there's a patch, it always breaks something. It's always meant to fix something, and it always breaks something. And I will say, I'm not seeing the whole sale for September thing anymore, because that was a glitch going on before this patch update, was that this little category here will just say sale in September until you hover over it and make it go away. But now, we have a different problem. So, do you guys remember when they first put in the sales button, how it would constantly just glow constantly and constantly have stuff moving around it? Well, that's back, but not for this. It's back and new for trait categories. So the traits themselves don't glow, but all of the categories glow. So if you don't know, when you have Sims, their traits are organized into emotional, hobby, lifestyle, and social. And now all of them will not stop glowing. I went to go make this family this morning after I updated the games. I brought my computer to the car place when I was waiting on my car to be fixed because it was like a 4-hour wait. And I went to go make this family because I'm going to use them for the new event coming up. And none of these would stop glowing. They're still glowing. Now, I don't think, these don't glow. These do glow. The turn-offs and turn-ons glow categories. The traits categories glow. The occults don't glow. But the traits and the likes and dislikes and the turn-off categories glow. And that's real annoying. Like, real annoying. I don't know why they keep having these problems to where things just constantly glow. Like, we've had it with this button with a couple of different variants. Now we have it with the traits in this. I think that it was on another problem on the gallery button at one point. I don't know why they keep making it to where things just glow without realizing. We also have a problem to where sometimes I don't know why, sometimes you'll download like a new pack and you'll filter by the new pack, and something that's not in the pack will show up and it'll be starred as it's a new item. But when you click on it and make the star go away, it's in a completely different pack. So I don't know what's up with their filtering and their like marking new objects, but it's really annoying. So I would just point out that's so far the only major bug I've seen since I've jumped into my game while playing since updating my game. But like I said, there's always at least one new glitch. But now that's everything that actually has come new into the game. And like I said, if you want to read any more on that stuff that I just showed you, it's all in the patch notes. But next we're going to jump into the actual bug fixes. So I did say I would go over every single thing that is in this patch notes update article. And the only thing that I haven't gone over yet besides the bug fixes is this kit official reveal. Now, we already knew this kit was coming, and it said in the leak that it was coming October 9th, which, honestly, I hate to say it, but I hope it's not true, because it's literally only a week after the new pack comes out. I think they should at least wait till October 16th. That is just my personal opinion, especially if they're going to do a patch before it. So, I don't know. It says here that it's just going to be coming out October 2025. They haven't confirmed a date, but from the leaks I've been seeing, it says it's coming out the 9th. But it is the autumn apparel kit, and all it says about it on this article is right in time for sweater weather. The Sims 4 Autumn Apparel Kit is coming October 2025. But I was able to go on Twitter and find where Lunar Brittany, which we all know this, well, maybe we don't all know them, but if you are on Twitter and active in the Sims community, you probably know them for their very criticism. I don't know, like, they're not wrong, they're just very critical. But they were able to snag some pictures and post it for us. So we have the full screenshot of the actual cover photo. Same thing that we're seeing here, it just has all the text on it and whatnot. So this is the cover photo, and then this is a screenshot of some Sims out in the town wearing some stuff that comes in the pack. It looks like we have new hats galore, which I am loving. I'm loving the new beanies. I'm assuming that's why they added the one swatch to the beanie, because we're getting new ones. But we have these beanies. We have this hat that's new. This whole outfit's new. The sweater is new. This whole outfit's new. I love these skinny jean, like, plaited pants. I really hope they come in a green swatch. Personal reasons. That this flannel's new, this whole outfit's new, including the hat. This outfit is new. Obviously, it's just a Create a Sim kit, so we're not going to have any build stuff or anything. They're just trying to show the Sims out in the world. probably highly doubt there's any new hairs. I don't recognize this hair, but that's probably just because it's under a hat, and I don't wear hats that often on my sim unless it's in their cold weather wear or a special occasion. So I doubt there'll be a new hair because we've never gotten a hair in a kit. But we at least have a bunch of new clothes. I'm loving all the sweaters and the flannels and the plaid and whatnot. I like the sweater. Oh yeah, I really like the sweater. So this is a better look at that sweater. It's sparkly. I'm sure like not all the swatches are sparkly, but there's sparkles. And this heart sweater is really cute. I'm pretty sure these pants may be new. I don't think this is a new skirt, but I think this is a new top. This is a whole new outfit. This is a new flannel. Possibly a new jacket here. I don't know. This is all really cute. I love like the trench coat moment. I will be using that quite often in my cold weather wear. And definitely the new hat that is on the actual cover. But that is all that I was able to find on the autumn apparel kit. I'm assuming these are the screenshots that are going to be used for advertising in game. Oh, it looks like he did put the actual actual description too. So it says, breathe in that crisp autumn air I think it's they, I don't know. I always accidentally say he because their icon is always a he, but I don't know if it's a she, he, they situation. I could look, but I'm not going to right now. But it says, breathe in that crisp autumn air, watch the leaves change color, and reach for something warm in the Sims 4 Autumn Apparel Kit. This collection features layered looks plus accessories like scarves, a wide-brimmed hat that are perfect for strolling down chilly streets. So now we can go ahead and jump into the patch notes because there are quite a lot of them. So a few days ago, I posted a video that had a laundry list in it, and that laundry list did list a lot of the bug fixes that they intended on fixing in this patch. So a lot of the ones that we are about to read were in that laundry list, but this is just showing that they are confirmed, they are officially in the game, and there is actually more than was on the laundry list, because there's a lot. So let's just jump straight into it, starting with base game. I'm loving how many base game updates I am seeing. So, first, Sims with the entrepreneurial trait will no longer experience sudden jumps in career levels. This will prevent the issue from occurring on any new saves. So if you're already having an issue, probably won't fix it, but it'll save it, do a new save. The venue info icon in build mode will stop shining when there's nothing new to display. But yet now all the fucking traits and all that are shining. Oh my god. Sorry. I won't go into that. A sim writing a book can now resume it properly after being interrupted by another sim to socialize. Didn't realize that was a problem, but that actually kind of explains some stuff in the past. Sims will no longer sit to drink water. I guess that's why they always go so far away when they grab the water. So I can understand why they're doing it. I just hope it doesn't mean like you can't tell them, or it doesn't mean that you can, when you tell them to sit down while drinking water, that they will refuse to do it. I just hope they just stop autonomously doing it. They weren't very clear on that. Interaction progress, like cooking or writing, will no longer start from the beginning after loading. Last exposition and sim reset no longer trigger when exiting a changing table. I haven't used a changing table in forever, so didn't realize that. A solid pink jean properly displays color swatch for the masculine sim. Duplicate swatch no longer shown for a sliding door. The holiday menu will no longer close when switching between sims. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you. Some reason, like the last patch after that, they started making it to where the holiday menu was closed, and when you would switch sims, it would just keep closing, so you would have to reopen it every time. And this is not just holidays, it's also like just regular events, so you couldn't see the goals unless you kept reopening it, which was super annoying. And I would assume would make it hard to, like, if you're playing a save and you're playing for a couple of days and you have like a holiday pop up and you didn't look on the calendar, what if you forget it was the holiday and you just didn't realize the little circle in the corner was there, and then like your Sim's all sad because you forgot to do the holiday? That would be super bad. So appreciate them fixing that. A swatch showing match was placed on a shelf. A diner outdoor sign is now glowing correctly. The infant bald eyebrow swatch are now in order. The following shower floors no longer flicker when zooming in a camera in and out. So the tranquil water shower, the modern grip expression, the waterfall shower, the easy peasy shower stall, and it's a shower trap. We also have nail polish will no longer change color with a certain dress shirt. A mournful memory music box will no longer have a debug name and a description on all except the main swatch. I thought the music box came in life and death. I'm confused, whatever. Curtains will now move when using DX11. Death will no longer be avoided by scheduling an off-a-lot event via the calendar on another lot during the death sequence. Mixed feelings on that one. I actually kind of would have preferred it be that way, but I can see why it wasn't supposed to be that way. And then a true black shoe variant will no longer change shape compared to the other variants. So that is all base game. Again, some of these I feel like were non-base game, but whatever. But we have some that are affecting multiple packs. So we have skill cheats will now be used to lower skills. We have eyeglasses will no longer look like sunglasses. So apparently they were just like tinting out. Some wall mailboxes no longer appear under masculine or miscellaneous appliances instead of trash cans and mailboxes. A summon the preview bush interaction is now available for vampires and fairy children's sim, so that has to do with the new nature skill in Enchanted by Nature. Some fireplaces will no longer protect life from the fire backwards. Interesting. Resolved a missing texture observed when applying a sweater vest with some bottom assets. Texture defects no longer observed when applying a bottom that are ruffled shorts with a top assets. And the undo button is no longer grayed out when using it to make changes for occult types and creative sim. Okay. Glad that button's fixed. Now fix the other glowing buttons. Okay, and technically that wasn't glowing, but still. And then we have Get to Work. We have one. So we have the Daring Hall tree now properly categorized under display category instead of decorative miscellaneous category. For cat and dogs, we have 3. Pets will no longer get deformed when traveling to another lot after aging up. Blue swatches for a frame set display properly color when placed. We have when selecting gray swatches for objects on a sculpture wall, all the proper color is placed. And then with Island Living, we have the mermaid bassinet, which they already mentioned, I already showed off. And then we have a resolved flickering animation observed on the water after the Sims performs a snorkel interaction on the bios and Sulai. I never do the snorkeling, so I wouldn't have known that one. Discovery University has 3. Bike pedals will now align with the Sims feet when riding a bike from this pack. I did hear about that being a problem. I just don't use bikes enough to realize it. Because honestly, bikes are kind of annoying. Just a little bit. Depending on what world you're in. But in the university world, they're annoying. A solid yellow-legged crop now displays the correct color for males. A legal case file in Dr. Tyson's Book of Learning are now properly categorized as under the clutter category instead of the sculpture category. Piercings from Eco Lifestyles expansion pack will now have the correct bronze and gold swatches display. With Growing Together, we have 2 smooth sailing diaper pail trash cans now snapped to the lavish one changing station. So apparently there was more snapping issues with trash cans. That was an issue when we first came out, but I thought they had fixed it. Maybe it broke again because, Sims 4. And then Starry Eyed Collection Banquet Table is now present in the bar category instead of dining table. That I actually did notice a long time ago, and I'm surprised they're just fixing that. For rent, we have 1 tenants no longer resolved as a failure after the property owner fixes what is needed on the tenant lot. Okay, so that's fixed. Love Struck, all colors tag now applied to the Canopy Dream and Drape Desires. That they have just had a problem with the freaking canopies in that expansion pack since it's come out, like, without a doubt. And then Life and Death, the modern compression bathroom sink and modern conversation and kitchen sink. I knew the shower that was named that was not base game earlier. Okay, so some of those showers were not base game. But they can now, objects can be slotted at the top of them. Nails that have a texture glitch on t-shirts will no longer happen. Child Sims now show up as ghosts when they die due to heating and freezing. So apparently ghosts weren't showing up when, like, they would die and then they would just, like, float around as regular kids, but they were supposed to be dead. They just weren't showing as ghosts. Which, to be fair, you don't have a lot of ghost kids by default in your game, which is probably and then a certain hat no longer clips with ears if the ears are extended outwards. A sim no longer clips with the bar stool when reading will interact is performed in sitting posture. A soul journey progression no longer grants too many points, so sadly we can't get it up as fast, but I guess it was going up a little fast. I kind of enjoyed it going up fast though, but now I'm curious. Now I kind of want to do my own soul's journey just to see how fast it goes up now. I don't know. I'm curious I wonder if I can speedrun my own soul's journey. All right. Because I actually haven't speedrun in a soul's journey. I'm working on a soul's journey. I'm almost to, like, the point where, like, it needs to be a ghost in my Life and Death series, the Grim Sim. But I haven't actually speedrun a whole little soul's journey yet. So I might do that just to test to see how slow it is now. And then Sims will no longer remain in ghost form after removing the ghost molecule and create a sim after using the undo button. Alright, for business and hobbies, Paint on Me wallpaper from business and hobbies category now appears when filtered by color. In Enchanted Nature, we have 3. So hairstyle no longer clips to the hat, apparently the mullet hairstyle. Fertilize all crops interaction is now functional on oversized crop plants with oversized filter. The gnomes brought to life for upgrades and repairs will no longer continuously upgrade toilets with composting container leading to toilets catching on fire. That one was funny, but I can see why they immediately fixed that. And then with vampires, vampire sims no longer constantly disappear and reappear during interactions. That has been one for so long. Oh my god, I hope it works. In paranormal, all the nail polish in the fingernail categories, colors now go with a dress shirt. Outdoor retreat, a certain plant no longer clips when placed on the roofs, which honestly is a pretty good one. And then we have 5 more packs, and they each only have 1 or 2. So in Realm of Magic, the glass top stage shares now properly category as under the decoration miscellaneous category instead of the service miscellaneous categories. And then a vest shirt now displays color swatches. On werewolves, we have a black medium wavy hair displays properly when zoomed in on the game. I'm assuming that's the one with all the beads. And then for the backyard stuff pack, we have now a T-boat neck now displays correct swatches. Oh, it's a top. I was about to say, what is that? It's a top. A certain top now displays correct swatches. In the Green Haven kit, when selecting a green or yellow swatch for the object for a tile, the thumbnail now displays the proper color. And lastly, the Sweet Slumber Party Kit nails now properly tagged for masculine frames. A lot of stuff to do with masculine tagging, a lot of stuff to do with tagging in general, a lot of color swatches displays. Honestly, a lot of little things. Like, they have, as far as just this update in general, they have the playground, which I feel like is the biggest, but has to have other packs. We have the new filtering system, which is honestly really nice. The play and pretend, which is cute, but felt like it could. I feel like they're only adding it because of the new pack, which is what this patch is for. But still, it's just like, it's cute. It's cute. I don't know. I feel like it could have been part of the pack, but I'm not gonna argue with them putting something in the base game, I guess. And then, of course, we have the one new swatch for the hat, which was interesting. We have the new bassinets. We have the memory boost, which I will have to figure out how well works. I'm actually quite excited to see how well that'll work. I'm going to actually turn it on before I play any more in my game, just to see. And then, of course, we have the announcement of the kit and a bunch of bug fixes that honestly, like, they weren't major bug fixes. We still don't have, like, the save corruption file from For Rent or any of that, but they did announce that November 4th, there's supposed to be a super big patch update, and if we're getting a kit in October, then there should be at least one patch in October. So that's at least 2 more patches coming before the end of the next 2 months. So we still have time for bigger stuff to be fixed, but I feel like these bug fixes, like, there was a lot of them, but none of them were, like, super game-breaking ones. But I know I said that this was the last thing I was going over, but there is one more thing I wanted to go over, and it is spoilers. So if you do not like spoilers, you can go ahead and click off this video now. That's why I kind of waited till the end to go over this. But basically, we now have in-game pictures of all the items that are coming with the new event right around the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up those screenshots and show you the in-game pictures of all the new rewards we're getting. Now, if you did watch my laundry list video that I was talking about earlier, you would have already seen me kind of break down this image. And this image here is basically a timeline for the Forever Friends base game event that is coming out September 23rd, so in about a week. And it pretty much just is a 6-week event where the first 4 weeks you get a new quest each week. And each quest has, like, multiple things you have to do to achieve it. And through those quests, you earn reward points. And those reward points earn you these rewards. Now, obviously, this picture didn't really have too much, like, words on it or color swatches being shown. It just is basically a timeline. So we have the login rewards. So literally all you have to do is log in and you get this stuffed animal. It's like one of the stuffed animals toddlers and children can interact with, and then you get 3 rewards the first week, 3 rewards the second week, 3 rewards the third week, 3 rewards the fourth week, plus you have a magnet collection that you collect throughout the 4 weeks. And they say they give you 6 weeks to finish it, so the 4 weeks plus 2 weeks. Honestly, I don't think there's been a single base game event since the first one came out that they haven't either just given us the rewards after the event was over with, or extended the time like another month. So you probably will have more than 6 weeks to finish it, just going off of history. By initial, they always say it's 6 weeks long. Let's go over all of the actual things here, because basically, like I said, when I went over this image, this is all we had. So we didn't have, like, descriptions or color swatches. But recently there's been an article released where it shows all of these things in game, and it shows all the color swatches, but I only pulled up one image of each one of these. So some of the images have all of the swatches next to each other, and some of them is just one of the swatches out of many, but we at least get to see the images in game. So like I said, major spoilers, but I thought some of you might like this. So obviously the first thing is the Pixel Bear, is what they're calling it. Honestly, kind of looks like a cutesy Pokemon, like not like original Pokemon, like new Pokemon, like crappy Pokemon. Not that, okay, I'm biased by saying that, but you know what I mean, like fairy Pokemon. Kind of makes me think of like a fairy Pokemon monster, because it has like the little leaf coming out of the head. I don't know, I guess it's because it's between Enchanted by Nature and Venture Awaits. They were trying to make something naturey that was kid related, is what I'm assuming. But this is the new stuffed animal. It's one of those you can talk to, you can name, you can play with, you can hug, and it like helps your kids get their charisma skill. Always super useful to have, especially in like baby challenges or whatnot. So I will always take a new one. It's just very questionable on how it looks, but these are all the swatches for it. So it looks like we have a blue swatch, a pink swatch, a yellow swatch, a green swatch, a teal swatch, a peach swatch, another purplish pink swatch, and a black swatch. And then we have the onesie. So I don't have every color pulled up here, but this is what the new kids onesie looks like. They did say in one of the notes that adults and kids were getting onesie, but I think it's just the kids getting the onesie. And of course it is the Pixel Bear, so I'm assuming it has all the same swatches. But this is the new little onesie for kids. I wish they were making it for more than just kids. I would have loved for every age group to get it, but I'll take what I can get for free. Then this thing, I wasn't 100% sure what it was at first, but it looks like it's a nightlight, and if you look closely, the last swatch has eyes closed. So I think if like your Sims are asleep in the room, the eyes might close on it. Either that or the eyes are just different for each one. But I think it would be really cute if the eyes just shut. I'm hoping for that. It's not confirmed, but it would be really cute if it was. And then we have that pillow. We have gotten multiple variants of this pillow. Like, it started out as the kit, and then they brought a variant to base game, and now they're adding another variant of it, but it looks more like painted colored things. I don't know. The other ones were shiny and plain with just like patterns on them. These are like actual like pictures, like painted pictures. And then something I actually think is really excited, and I'm assuming we're probably getting these with a pack or something. Basically, and these are the base game versions, but basically this is a picture frame that you can put any picture in, and I think from what it's saying it's a digital one, so you could possibly put more than one image in there, which would be really cool. I don't know if I'm reading that right. It may just be digital to where you can put any picture in it, but we are getting some neutral swatch digital picture frames. You can see here it has an electricity box on the background, and there is landscape and portraits. They're not wall, they are just on tables and shelves, but still, that's really cool. Then as far as wall things go, when I looked at this image, I was like, oh, it's a new little wall painting or something, because I thought this was a new picture, just like because it's like a picture of the bear. So I was like, oh, we got a new picture. No, it's a digital picture frame, and this is a magnet board. So we have the new magnet collection, and I was like, what are we going to stick magnets on? Can you stick them to your fridge? Apparently you're probably not going to be able to stick them to your fridge. I hoped it would, but that's not the case. But we did get a magnet board you can put on your wall. So this is all the images of the magnet board. The 3 images that don't have like a little picture or note already stuck to it are the black, the purple, and the neon green. But it looks like the peach, the purple, the orange, the blue, the green, and the pink all have like a little note with like a vacation picture on it, which is super cute. And then we have the magnet collection itself. So we are getting 6 new magnets in 4 weeks. And we get a little dinosaur, the Yashamon. I normally say it right, but I think I'm saying it wrong. We have a little, like, arch, like, wedding arch almost. A little island volcano. We have the little seaman from Brindleland Bay. And we also have a tree. I'm assuming it's, like, supposed to be represented enchanted by nature. But it is cute. It's a magnetic memory board with magnets. And you get it through earning points, obviously. And then we have the Kratos stuff. So this top, these pants, and these shoes are new. I like the pants. This is something very basic we need. I don't have all the swatches pulled up. It does come in multiple swatches, including plain black and plain white. But just plain cut off yoga pants is honestly just something so needed in the game. This top is actually something we already have in a pack, like a really old pack, like to the point it's so old of a pack I can't remember what pack it is. Is it the fitness stuff pack? I'm not sure, but either way we already have this in a pack. But if you play the event, you can get it again just in different color swatches, and honestly I'm not going to complain because I actually really like this shirt. And I actually use it a lot for my fitness wear. And then new sneakers, always appreciate it. These shoes aren't new, but this full body outfit is new. And kind of gives like going on a camp adventure vibe, which fits the, adventure awaits vibe. So that works. And of course comes in multiple colors, not just the yellow. But the yellow was my favorite, so I chose that one. And then we also have a new like hip bracelet thing in Kratos. I don't know if it's just for adults or if kids are getting it too, but it's showing it on an adult wrist. And then we also have a new trait. Now we saw the icon for the trait, but we weren't able to really tell what it was. So now we have the new trait, and it's called Active Imagination, which sounds really cool. So it says, these Sims gain boosts from imaginative activities, gaining creative skills faster, but may get overwhelmed at time. And I think that would be perfect for a kid. So if they don't have this for kids, I'm going to be very upset. I'm assuming it's kids and older that can get this trait. But that sounds really cool, and I would love to see that. I would love to have a way to gain creative skill faster. And the very last thing is the recipe. So this is the new recipe, and it is apparently a baked potato, but they can only be cooked on the grill. You can't cook them on the oven, and you can't cook them over the fire, which is funny because they're called campfire like potatoes or something like that, but you can only cook them on the grill. I don't know why they made that choice, but I thought it was kind of a funny choice. But with that is everything I wanted to go over in this video. I tried to talk about it as fast as I could and show it off kind of quickly, but I'm sure this is slightly a longer video, so I do apologize. But I hope if you did get to this point of the video, you found it informative and entertaining, because that was the purpose. And the new event comes out the 23rd. The new Adventure Await pack comes out the 2nd of October. And we will be getting a big patch November 4th. So that's kind of the big things coming along. Oh, and the kit. We're getting a kit sometime in October. But other than that, that is all we know. That is all I have for this video. Sorry it was out a little late. As far as when I'm recording this, my stepdad is still in the hospital and there hasn't been any good updates. So hopefully that will change soon. But for now, I'm going to end this one here. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff, because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. Alright,